Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, we're going to go over the Sports Illustrated, and this is in the NFL section. I will list the article writer and all of the details in the description, as I always do. And it says Odell Beckham Jr. removed from flight by Miami-Dade police per report. The free agent wide receiver reportedly refused to exit the aircraft until police became involved. Free agent wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. was kicked off a flight headed for Miami to Los Angeles on Sunday morning, the Miami-Dade Police Department announced. Beckham allegedly didn't have his seatbelt fastened and slipped in and out of consciousness. When the crew tried to get him to buckle up, causing the flight to be delayed and eventually requiring everyone on the flight to deboard. The flight crew was concerned that a passenger, Mr. Odell Beckham Jr., as they tried to wake him to fasten his seatbelt, he appeared to be coming in and out of consciousness prior to the departure. The department said in a statement via NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, fearing that Mr. Beckham was seriously ill and that his condition would worsen through the expected 5-hour flight. The crew called the police and fire rescue. The statement goes on to say that Beckham wouldn't get off the plane until police became involved, at which point he did without incident. American Airlines also released a statement saying that Beckham was asked to leave the plane for failing to follow crew members' instructions and refusing to fasten his seatbelt. And this is the report right here in the statement. Okay. You can pause and read that if you like. It says a video shows Beckham exiting the plane with his bags and leaving an airport tunnel surrounded by security. Okay, and this is the video. I will give credit to that so you can go over and watch it. It is the Sporting News. You can definitely go check them out on Twitter. But here is the video. Okay. I don't know what that's about. I mean, judging from the video, he looks okay to me. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comment section. But continuing on with the article, it says, in response, Beckham tweeted his disbelief that he was forced off the plane by the crew. Never in my life have I experienced what just happened to me. I've seen it all, he wrote. Okay, and this is Odell Beckham Jr. He tweeted it out. Comedy hour. Beckham, who tore his ACL in the Super Bowl 56, is healthy and preparing to take visits with playoff caliber teams before choosing where to sign. And that is the end of the article right there as it stands. I did see another article about Odell Beckham. Essentially, it was his lawyer that came out and about the situation. So let me try to get that really quick for you so we can do a 2-for-1. Let's see. Okay, here we go with this one, and this is also from Sports Illustrated, and I will list the article writer for this article as well in the description. And it says OBJ's lawyer addresses receivers incident at Miami airport. The wideout was escorted off a flight headed to Los Angeles on Sunday. after reportedly not complying with a request to fasten his seatbelt. Hours after, Odell Beckham Jr. had to be escorted off the American Airlines flight in Miami following an incident involving the flight crew. A member of the free agent wide receivers legal team has issued a statement addressing Sunday's situation. According to the Miami-Dade Police Department, Beckham was removed from the plane without incident after the flight crew grew concerned for the 30-year-old when he didn't comply with a request to fasten his seatbelt while appearing to be coming in and out of consciousness. Okay. Prior to takeoff, American Airlines later released a statement saying that Beckham was asked to leave the flight headed for Los Angeles for failing to follow crew members' instructions and refusing to fasten his seatbelt. Daniel Davalier, Beckham's attorney, explained the circumstances that eventually led to his client's removal from the flight in a statement obtained by NFL Network's Iron Report. Davalier refuted the claim that Beckham refused to listen to the crew, stating that he was asleep with a blanket over his head before he was told he needed to vacate the plane because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Earlier today, Odell Beckham Jr. boarded a morning flight in Miami without any problems. The statement began, the flight was delayed after boarding, and prior to takeoff, Mr. Beckham fell asleep with a blanket over his head, which is his normal practice for long flights. He was awakened and told that the plane was back at the gate and that he needed to get off the plane because he did not put his seatbelt on when asked. He responded that he was asleep and that he would put the seatbelt on at that time. He was informed that it was too late and that either he would have to get off the plane or everyone would have to deplane. Davalier then explained that Beckham interacted with an overzealous flight attendant that sought to prove that he had the authority to have Mr. Beckham removed from the flight. Sunday's disruption also caused the flight to be delayed and required passengers to deboard. The overzealous flight attendant insisted on removing everyone from the plane instead of simply allowing Mr. Beckham to fasten his seatbelt and proceed with the flight. At no time was Mr. Beckham disruptive or combative. He was willing to comply with the seatbelt requirement, but the flight attendant wanted to prove that he had the authority to have Mr. Beckham removed from the flight. The airline proceeded to send Mr. Beckham's luggage to Los Angeles without him. The incident was unnecessary. Sleeping on a plane should not be a cause for removal from the flight. If they could wake him up when the flight returned to the gate, then they could have done the same thing and to ask him to put on his seatbelt. It makes sense. It makes sense. Beckham is not currently expected to face any charges following the incident. The former All-Pro is still evaluating his options for his next team and is slated for upcoming free agent visits with the Cowboys, Giants, and Bills. Okay? And that is the end of the second article. That was the restatement from his lawyer, Davalier. And basically, he just said that, it makes sense because if he's asleep, if going based off of what the lawyer is saying, they didn't really give too many details to, as far as the statement that American Airlines put out. So It was just a standard statement. It just said he refused to put on his seatbelt. Well, why did he refuse to put on his seatbelt? They didn't provide any context to it, so I'm not able to, really say nothing except, okay, it was a standard statement. But as far as the statement that his lawyer put out, it was basically, it gave a little bit more detail into what could have happened, allegedly. And I say that because I have no first-hand knowledge. So it was just basically him, a flight attendant that wanted to prove, allegedly, that they were, more superior and they could make things happen on a flight, kick people off, keep people on. And, it makes kind of sense. What stuck out to me was basically when the statement read that he, you know, why didn't they wake him up to tell him to fasten his seatbelt, but they woke him up to, tell him he had to leave. I think that was a situation that got blown out of proportion. It just seems like to me, could have asked if he was asleep as he claimed he was, then, what's the harm of just tapping him? You tapped him when you told him, oh, you gotta get off the plane, but did you tap him and say, hey, can you put on your seatbelt? And it also said when he did hear what they were saying, he did comply. Well, he wanted to comply, but they didn't give him a chance because at that point they wanted him off the plane. So, yeah, I mean, it's a situation. Hopefully, it will die down and blow over. I don't see that, the report saying earlier that he was going in and out of consciousness. If you're asleep, that kind of happens. Um, you know, who's to say? He's like, it was a medical, they're making it seem like it was a medical emergency. He was like, no, I was asleep, something simple. But like I said, watching the video of him being escorted off around security and everything, he looked fine to me. He didn't look like he was in any having any problems as far as like his health or being able to stand or walk in a straight line or anything like that. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Please drop down in the comment section as we always do. Let me know how you feel about this story or any other story that I do on my channel. Thank you so much. I do appreciate each and every one of you for all the views, the comments. I appreciate it, man. I really do. And we're going to keep it on rolling. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share as well. But we're going to keep on rolling to the next video. I will meet you guys there.